Hey guys, welcome to Anime Casuals, Lucky's Vlog number 2. Today we're going to be talking mostly about an anime called Sakura Quest, who, man, dude, this anime had a big impact on me. So for those of you that don't know or haven't been watching our videos lately, I believe I mentioned in one of our recent videos, I'm not too sure. But I was laid off pretty recently because of the whole crisis that's going on. If you're watching this at a later time, we're going through COVID right now. But also during that time, I was lucky enough to have a job that was essential. But there are a lot of people that are getting this kind of they're getting told that their jobs aren't essential, basically, and that can really hurt somebody's ego. When they were working hard at even just some type of retail job. Although a lot of the retail jobs are considered essential, but some of these jobs are dropping, and we're starting to see the mental health rate go down in terms of people's mental stabilities, drug overdoses, that kind of thing. But this anime really, it hit hard, man, because I think that a lot of us watch anime to kind of escape. There's a certain amount of escapism there. You don't have to deal with real life. Yeah, it's like anything that you use to escape, like video games, other TV shows. But with this one, it kind of forces you to look at your life because it's so relatable. And even though it might not seem, so I'll go through some of the basic plot points first, and then you can, I'll piece together the argument that it is relatable. So this young girl, Yoshino, I believe she's about 20, 21-ish, and she is jobless in Tokyo. She moved from her country town in the sticks to Tokyo to try and live a better life and try and basically get away from the countryside. And her parents are still supporting her. Long story short, she ends up getting a call from her agency, and they send her over to a town that's in the sticks called Manayama, and basically they want to hire her for the tourism board. Now, some misunderstandings ensue. There, in Japan, kanji's probably one of the. So I've learned a little bit of Japanese, and kanji is one of the things that I don't know if I'll ever get. So there are different characters in kanji, and so they mess up the characters in another girl's name. So they're actually trying to get a famous actress who has a very similar spelling of her name in kanji, but they write the characters wrong, and it turns into Yoshino's name, and so that misunderstanding happens. She decides, they tell her, well, you can leave, and she decides, what, I'm not going to run away from this. I'll just do this. So she becomes queen. I say that with like quotation marks just because it's more of a tourism tactic, and so she is technically on the tourism board of the Maruyama. So they end up getting this unit of like 5 girls together. There's one in IT. There's one that kind of heads it, but is also from the town. There's a couple weird ones, but yeah, they have like 5 girls that do this job, and try and gather tourists to because the town it's comfortable, but it's not doing great, and so they kind of need that tourist flow. So you might think, well, that sounds like a crazy premise. How is that relatable, right? It's just the things that these people go through, because even though it's about this girl who becomes queen and all that kind of stuff, it's also about her relating to older people and trying to get them to not so much change their ways, but also to have them accept new ways, but also for her to accept their ways, because you have to realize a lot of these people are retired. They worked their butts off for all their lives to retire, and now she's kind of trying to convince them, hey, maybe we need some more foot traffic in here. When a lot of them are living very comfortable lives, and I mean, I live in a pretty crowded city, not the most crowded one, but sometimes you kind of feel like you just want to get away, and these people have gotten away, so they feel pretty comfortable doing that. There's different things like her trying to understand the culture of this town, getting people to kind of agree with each other that don't usually agree, and also they hit real hardships. Like not like these crazy hardships like like my my brother was possessed by a demon, now I have to kill him, or my brother attacked my entire clan and now I have to kill him. Just real problems. And there's a clip I'm going to show you in just a second about so there's this woman named Sanae, and she is the IT director of the tourism board, and she's going through this little rut because they're trying to get this wood carver to basically they're trying to convince him. I won't get too much into this plot, but let's just say they're trying to convince him of something. And he ends up saying to her, because she came also from Tokyo, and she's living there as a vlogger, or a blogger, sorry. And he says, what right do you have to talk to me when you ran away from your hometown? Why are you trying to save this? Basically saying that she doesn't have a leg to stand on. And she really takes it to heart, and it really hurts her for a good amount. And so this is episode 5 of Sakura Quest. And so, actually, sorry, in episode 5 of Sakura Quest, she ends up talking to the queen, and the queen, I'm kind of confused about what her job is for the most part, because most part she is part of all of their groups, but she's kind of the overseer of it all. But she's just, she's one of those characters that's just wise beyond their years. And so in this clip that I'm going to show you, she's basically talking to Sanae and is trying to tell her about how people can, anybody can replace anybody on a job, and this is what Sanae is trying to get over, the fact that, anybody could do her job. Anybody could be a blogger in town. Anybody could be the IT department, or in the IT, be the IT director of the tourism board that had, basic computer knowledge. She just didn't understand how she felt special, and that's why I wanted to bring this up today, because I feel like that's what a lot of us are feeling right now, because we're getting told our jobs are non-essential, or we're getting laid off for multiple reasons. And here is Yoshino trying to convince Sanae that she really is important, and we all have our different personalities. Go ahead and enjoy.
She'd been here in my place, but even if every job can be done by someone else, some results can only be achieved by certain people because we're all unique. I'm sure it was the same with your job in Tokyo. Maybe it seemed the same no matter who did it. But if you looked closer, I'm sure you'd find that there was at least some small part of you hidden in that work. That is good, because our differences make us stronger. And when we come together, then we can create something new.
That was heavy. So, as you can tell by that clip, Yoshino is who is the pink-haired girl, and when she's talking to Sanae, she really does lay it on pretty well, trying to tell her that, we all have our own different quirks, and I think this is really what makes the world, we don't have to just talk about workplaces, but just makes the world a better place, is the fact that we're so different. We always hear people, butting heads over different ideas, but it's funny, I remember when I was in the, for those of you that don't know, I had a mental health spat a long time ago, so I was placed in the hospital. And one of the things that they were teaching us was the idea, and actually I kind of read up on this a little bit more. Buddhism talks about it a lot, in terms of suffering. But there's a certain amount of tension that must be had for things to get stronger. Like if you want to even think about it, like when you're working out, right? That's tension being built. That's tension that has to be sustained over a certain amount of time, for either your muscles to get stronger or anything, or muscles to get bigger. That we call it time under tension in weightlifting. And in order to shock your muscle, whatever you're working on, into growing. And I think that's kind of what we need to grow. You can't just have people with the same ideologies as you. You need other ones to challenge your own ideologies, your own ideas, and that's what makes the world a better place. And that's what she's kind of saying here, that, anybody can replace you in any job. But it's what you bring to that job as an individual that really, really cements your legacy. If you can think about almost any job, what I'm doing right now with Johnny and Michael, anybody could be doing this. But, it's our personality that is brought to this that makes it special. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, who knows at this point. But it's very, very, I just find it so heartwarming. I love this series. I highly recommend you watch it. Once again, it is on Funimation. And yeah, I really hope that you guys get into this. And I want to encourage maybe even the like the person that is watching just for action and anime or just for this, just for that. I highly recommend you guys watch some maybe not romance anime. That's more of my guilty pleasure, but slice of life anime, man. They get really real, and I feel like they force you to be they force you to look into yourself and think about how the problems in your life relate to the problems in this character's life. And there's, by the way, that's just one clip from Sakura Quest. There's so many things, that I can think about where it really just, I'm just looking at the freaking screen and being like, why are you real? Why is this getting so real? But yeah, I mean that's the beautiful thing about anime. There's just so many different types and so many different avenues you can go into. You just can never be bored with anime, man. There's just so many great ones. But before I get on a humongous tangent, I just want to thank you guys for watching my vlog. We'll be having another video tomorrow which will be our part 2 of our casual analysis of My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to doom. I think I said roads in another in another one of my another in one of the previous videos, and that wasn't right. But yeah, so look forward to that. And as always, guys, just a reminder: we will be doing these vlogs every single week. But in about 2 weeks, I'll be actually moving. Speaking of moving from the city to the sticks and all that kind of stuff, I'll be moving to another state. That's why you've been seeing us do Skype calls just to kind of get the format down a little bit. And so yeah, so we will still be doing anime casuals, but we will be. I'll be from a different location. Johnny and Michael will still be around their place, and yeah. So yeah, go and look forward to that, and look forward to more anime casuals. And as we always say, guys, keep it casual.